time. They never used street lights before. It was beautiful, but it wasn't really new. You see, people that thought they were going to see a new, organic American architecture coming out of the Chicago Fire. They get a reduct of European styles for the fair. And one of the architects that worked in the program, Louis Sullivan, said he felt like it set back Chicago architecture 40 years. But what did come out of it was the City Beautiful movement, the idea that there could be purpose and harmony to the buildings downtown, where they're built, how they're built, giving a better sense of living for the people that live down there. And in 1909, Daniel Burnham published his plan of Chicago. It was the first urban planning of any kind in the world. And one thing I find kind of unique about his plan of Chicago, he said people should be within walking distance of a park downtown. And that's true here in Chicago. A lot of his stuff took over 100 years to come into play. We're just starting to see his work come into play now. And he referred to Chicago, can you please have her sit down? Thank you. A lot of people refer to Chicago as the Paris on the prairie. Daniel Burnham referred to Chicago as the Paris on the prairie. And there's a lot of French influence within our city. Gardens, balconies. So as you're kind of touring around Chicago, I want you to notice that Paris on the prairie. Now if you look to your left, you'll see Centennial Fountain. This is created by the grandson of Mies van der Rohe. It was done for the 100-year anniversary of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. That's the group that reversed the flow of the river. But that, my friends, is a cliffhanger. We're going to get all that good information later on in the tour, so hold on to that nugget. There is a 70-foot water cannon that shoots over the river. It does it for 10 minutes at a time. We do time our tours around. It's on an hourly schedule. But I have to admit, on some days, it might feel nice to go right through the middle of it. Now, if you look to your left, you'll see the Riverview condos, residential living. Notice it's got a green color. It is made to match the water run. You see the water run is this green color, not because we dye it, although we do dye it once a year. St. Patrick's Day. It's more like an atomic green. Kind of looks like Chicago relish. And on a side note, it is awesome. YouTube it or go on Google Images. They use plumber's dye. Same stuff they use to find leaks in plumbing. They spray it all over on a massive scale. You're going to want to time your next tour to Chicago around it. But this water we're on is actually lake water. You see, we reverse the flow of the river, so water that would naturally flow into Lake Michigan starts flowing out of Lake Michigan. And it's not till you get to Wolf Point, where you get the kind of north branch, the brown river water, they mix. They head down the south branch to get that deeper color. Now we are about to pass on Lakeshore Drive. It's dedicated by Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1934. One of the first times he spoke of foreign policy. You ever see an old photo of Lakeshore Drive? It had two right angles. An S-curve. Can you imagine a highway that had two right angles in it? See why they fixed it. Now if you were to take Lakeshore Drive up, you'd see there are no developments east of Lakeshore Drive except for one, Lake Point Tower. Well, that was because of a man by the name of Montgomery Ward. Montgomery Ward fought against public opinion, lawmakers at the time. So the lakefront should be clear, free, and enjoyed by all. So you help preserve a bit of an urban oasis. Beaches that we can go and enjoy. If you go up to Montrose Beach, they actually have a canine-friendly beach for your dogs there. Now, one building that did get built is Lake Point Tower. You're going to have one, it better be a good one. Lake Point Tower was designed by the grandson, Mies van der Rohe was actually implemented by his students. Tallest building in the world, 1968 residentially, when it was built 3 times its intended size.